Hey boo kittens, happy Monday. It's your girl Keisha and I am here with this week's All Tea All Shade Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 episode 16 review. You guys, next week is the season finale episode and then we'll head into the reunion and then the season will be over. But let's get into this week's episode because a lot went down and I got a lot to say. Okay, so let's get into it. So the beginning of the episode starts with Shamia at the doctor's office with her two girls because she thought that Shiloh was sick because she came back from Grenada with strep throat. The baby seemed to be okay though, but we do find out via her confessional that she and her husband Gerald did do an embryo transfer with the surrogate Asha, but it didn't go through. So at that point, they decided just to hold off on things. So I don't know where they're at with that now. Maybe we'll get an update on that at the reunion. I really hope and pray that they are able to have a baby boy and finish and complete their family. So we go to Phaedra's house and we see her youngest son, Dylan, is sewing. And I said, look at that. You don't see, a lot of young black boys sewing, and especially where they're actually applauded and supported in doing so. A lot of men and families and even women, whether you black or whatever, be like, that's for girls, that's sissy, you gay, and I love the fact that that's not what's going on in that household and that he is being fully supported in something that he enjoys doing. And based off what we saw with the pants, he did a very good job. I was like, did he really do that, or did that man help him sew that? But regardless, I'm very, very proud of the young man, Mr. President. And Phaedra is having a fur event at her store, and she's going to showcase some of his work, which I thought was so dope and so cool and a great opportunity for him. She's, of course, inviting all the ladies. So this is going to be an extravaganza. All right. So Kelli has her final, what she thought was going to be her final day in court. It lasted 4 hours, but lo and behold, they did not get a divorce that day because they went over time. And her husband ended up going to the clinker for non-payment of child support once again. So, of course, she was really disappointed, stressed out. Shamia comes over, just to support her and check on her and everything. And Kelli clues her in on everything that happened. And while they're talking, Angela calls to check up on her. And Shamia was like, that was really nice of her to, reach out to you, to check on you and everything. She was like, have you heard from Brit? And Kelli was like, girl, I have not heard from her since Grenada. And she knows, just like everybody else, what I got going on and about my court date. And she has not reached out to me. And this really hurts Kelli because every time Brit was going through something, she was right there by her side, trying to do stuff to pick up her spirits, by, having somebody come over, do the IV for her, bringing her flowers and all types of stuff. Like, she was really, truly there for her and was really trying to be a good supportive friend. And it was messed up that she didn't receive that in return from Brit. It really was. So now let's get to the good part of it all. So Kelli is having a cooking event at Williams Sonoma, and she invites Angela, who brings Charles, my man. I couldn't be there that day. I had to work. I had to do YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I just sat that one out. Phaedra is also invited, as well as Drew. So she and Charles are going to have a waffle cook off because we know my man knows how to throw down in the kitchen, okay? He don't look like Frederick Douglass for nothing, okay? He likes to make all the key soul food dishes, all right? I eats good, as you can tell. I ain't skipping no meals, and he don't want me to, okay? So I already knew that he was going to win. I had no qualms about that. That's why I didn't even find it necessary for me to go, because I already knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? I was just waiting for him to come home with my plate, period. From what I heard, they both did like a banana Foster waffle, and everybody was going up for my man's waffle. They was like, "Ooh, baby, this tastes like slavery." This waffle tastes like struggle. Yes, honey. Woo, this waffle came from the earth, from the motherland. Yes, son. This waffle, you put your foot, your back, your gray hair in it. Yes, sir. But they was trying to be nice to Kelli because it was her event. So they was like, it's a tie. But I was like, no, it doesn't. But all right, whatever. We're going to let her have it. So then, lo and behold, some little twink by the name of Marcus comes over to Angela and says, "Hi, nice to meet you," or whatever. "Can I talk to you outside for a minute?" And she was like, "Yeah, but like, who do I know you?" He was like, "No, you don't know me, but my name is Marcus, but and I have something I want to tell you about your husband, but I don't want to do it here. I'd rather take you outside." And she was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, your husband has been to my restaurant before with another woman, and I wanted to clue you in basically on what's going on." And she was like, "Okay," like, cause she was weirded out by, cause like, who is this random man that I don't know coming up to me telling me that he's seen my husband at his restaurant with another woman? So she's like, what is going on, right? So the Marcus guy ends up walking away, going over to his little group of people that he was with. And Kelli, after taking a drink with the girls, like, let me go take a drink with them or whatever. And so as they're over there cheersing, Marcus was like, "Let's cheers if your name is Angela and your husband is cheating on you." And Kelli was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Escort him out. We're not doing that at all. Now, everybody else heard it apparently except for Charles. Now, Charles is a little hard of hearing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to put his business out there like that, but the man can barely hear out of his left ear. You know what I'm saying? We be having to yell in his right one when we be wanting, to talk to him or whatever. You can't talk to him on the left side because he's not going to hear it. So you have to yell at him from the right side in order for him to understand what you saying and that you even talking to him. Okay? That's a little inside secret. When they came home and told me what happened, we honestly all got a good kiki out of it, because we was like, "Marcus, baby, the person you saw him with was me." Like, you think you bringing tea and the joke's on you? It was me. Sorry. And we was just like, this man really thought he was doing his big one, really thought that he was exposing something, and wasn't exposing nothing. Not a damn thing. Just making himself look stupid. I was like, wait until I show up at the last event. Wait until I show up in my Sunday's best with my man and his wife, and everybody's going to be gagged, gooped, flabbergasted, astounded, astonished, shocked, surprised, furious, furioso. Like I said, Angela was like, "Girl, I was hoping that Charles did not hear that man, because I knew if he would have heard him, girl, pots and pans would have been flying all over that damn store, and we would have had a whole nother incident going down." I was like, "Girl, I'm happy that I didn't go, because you already know that I would have turned up for the one time." Okay, they didn't want to have them problems. Me and Charles, Angela a little bit more, she tried to be a little bit more classy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm from the north side of St. Louis. I don't play them type of games. I grew up on Ren, 5245 at that, okay? I went to Walnut Park Elementary. If you from St. Louis and you already know what time it is, like, I don't play them type of games. And especially about my man.
What?
And he elderly. He don't need to be out here fighting no more. So he got me for that. Okay? First, when I was watching the episode, y'all, I thought Phaedra had something to do with this. I was like, this got Phaedra written all over it. Because she kept on saying, "I didn't know he was married. I ain't never even heard him having a wife. I ain't know that man was married. Where'd she come from? I ain't never seen him talk about her." So I was like, do this got something to do with Phaedra? Did Phaedra set this up? And then I was thinking, was it Portia? Because right after the event, Phaedra gets in her car and she calls Portia. And Portia is at Brit's house with Cynthia. So she has the phone call on speakerphone and Phaedra tells them what happened. And they're all shocked. Like, oh my God, what is this about? What? So I was thinking, do this got something to do with Phaedra and Portia? Freaking frack all over again. Did y'all set this up? Because remember, Portia and Angela had beef earlier on in the season. And you know Portia is sneaky snaky. She'll act like everything is all good and then come back and juke you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, maybe this is both of them doing this. But then after that, I said, no, it ain't either one of them. This got Brit written all over it. But we're going to talk more about that a little later. And for anybody out there that thinks that I'm serious about me being in a relationship with Charles, these are all jokes. I literally had a T-Squad member leave me a comment. It was so funny, where she really thought that I was being serious about messing around with Charles. And y'all had me cracking up because y'all had to tell the sweet lady that, no, girl, this is a joke. This is not serious. Actually, I screenshotted it. Shout out to you, boo-boo. I ain't gonna say your name. She said, I felt bad for Angela after being married for 8 years. Keisha, I love you, but I'm a married woman. And to me, both of you are being played. You are such a smart, intelligent young woman, and let Charles disrespect both of you. For the problems you went through 2.5 years ago, to me, you deserve better than waiting your turn for Angela to be away to get his attention. I know good men is hard to find, but you deserve better. Always remember you are in my prayers for your health, and a good man you will not have to share with no one. Love you, Keisha. Y'all, I screamed. I said, oh, Lord, bless her heart. She think I'm being serious. No, these are jokes. To anybody that's new to this channel, these are jokes. These are skits. This is something I've been doing for years. I would never mess with a married man, okay? Not at this big age. Old ho Keisha from back in the day, probably. I'm not gonna even hold you. But no, that is not my ministry. These are jokes. But let's get back to the review. The day of Phaedra's event, and she's, hustling and bustling, and she gets a FaceTime from Portia, who tells her she won't be able to make it because unfortunately her cousin Londi, who we saw on Portia's reality show with her family, passed away suddenly. It was very sad. This happened last Sunday when we saw her on Portia's, Portia's Family and Friends and Simon. Girl, don't give me the line. We really liked her, and Portia did her so wrong on that show. So wrong. But obviously they were able to work through it and continue to be around each other. We saw her earlier on in this season. Unfortunately, like I said, she passed away. May she rest in peace. And I hope and pray that her family are adjusting to their new normal. All of the ladies, a few hours after that, start arriving for the event. And they're all in black, and Brit arrives. Gotta give it to Brit. She looked fabulous. I love the bob on her. I loved her dress. She looked great. And she speaks to everybody, including Kelli. She was like, hi, Kelli. Hi, Kelli. And Kelli just sitting there, looking around, everybody on mute. Like she was giving her nothing. Brit peeped like, oh, okay. Oh, we beefing? Oh, we really beefing. Okay. Angela, so Cynthia brings up what happened with Angela. She said that Phaedra told her what happened or whatever. And Angela was like, yeah, we had somebody look into that. Because, I got people in my life that don't play about me, And she says they looked into this Marcus guy. and found out that somebody paid him to come and do that. And they was like, what? And she was like, yeah. And they was like, oh my God. And I paid attention to Brit's face. Go back to that part, y'all, and look at her face. And this was before we even got to that scene that I had already put 2 and 2 together in my mind to think that Brit had something to do with this. But it was confirmation for me. It was the expression on her face was like, oh my God, do she know it was me? Do she know it was me? Because she was like, well, we're going to have to find out who this person is. It screams Brit because Brit is the one that brought up, your husband is cheating on you. He doesn't even claim you. What about that side baby? This screams something that she would do to prove that she was in fact right about Charles cheating on Angela. And what also makes me think that it was her is because that dude looked like somebody in her camp. He reminds me of her husband or something. I don't know. It's something about that man, and Brit just connects to me. And then it made me also think, like, is that another reason why she didn't come to the reunion? Because Angela found out that she was the one that did it and she didn't want to have to be held accountable for that? Because why didn't she come to the reunion? It had to be something major, something big that she did for her not to want to come and face the funk. And it didn't have anything to do with the Kenya situation. We haven't even gotten to the part yet where she says something about Shamia's baby and she needs to be home with her sick child, which is also bad. But I really honestly think that she paid somebody to come to that event and say that to Angela. I really think it was her. If it's not, you know I'll eat that. But I really think that it was Brit. Drew arrives, child, late. And Phaedra didn't already closed and locked the doors because she gave a specific time and Drew did not arrive on time. I think she arrived like 15 minutes late or something like that. And I don't know what's going on with Drew this season where she arriving everywhere late like she Madonna or somebody. Like, girl, please. So her and her group of people literally stand outside for almost an hour, even tapping on the door, knocking on the door and all this kind. Girl, I would have left. I would have left. Ain't no way in hell I'm about to be standing outside that long. She outside eating chicken wings off a random police officer and stuff. I'm like, what is happening, Jesus? Girl, you gonna get rabies. You gonna get gingivitis. No. So then Brit and Kelli start arguing, child. And Brit was like, you don't have to be passive aggressive. And Kelli said, I'm not passive. I'm aggressive. And I said, okay, little King Tut. We see you. We see you. You better talk that talk. You better talk that talk, Kelli. We ain't seen you get in action all season. So Brit was like, I haven't ever seen you aggressive. And Kelli said, don't play with me. Brit, don't play with me. Like, you don't want these type of problems. You can tell Kelli probably had to defend herself a lot because she is so little and people probably picked on her. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kelli know how to throw a little 1-2. Brit was like, oh, you're the big bad wolf. And Kelli was like, I'm the mighty wolf. And I said, okay. Mighty Joe Young, the mighty duck. Brit was like, it's a persona. You're really insecure. And Kelli said, let me tell you something, ho. You better talk to your motherfucking roommate. You better talk to your pill popping roommate. And the fact that she kept on calling that man her roommate really played into the whole, he gay, girl. You his beard. That man like dick. He don't want no fish sticks, okay? And I was like, ooh, you going there, Kelli. Okay. And the pill popping, I could see that. I could see them being some pill poppers. Her and her quote unquote husband. They look like they be on pills. So then Brit was like, keep it up unless you want to talk about those ashmortions you had when you was married. And everybody was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, girl, you don't say that. You don't, like, what? And so Kelli was like, bitch, you can't even have a kid. You could never be me, bitch. And Brit was like, nobody wants to be you, you little hobbit. That was funny. But yo, like, was she wrong for saying the ashmortion thing? Yeah, but Kelli took it there first with the pill popping. And you know, when you arguing, I don't feel like if somebody started it, I feel like you should finish it. Once you go there, I'm going to hell. So I'm not even that upset with Brit because she took it there first. Was it foul? Yeah. But Kelli took it there first. And at the end of the day, if she had an ashmortion while she was married, that's her business. That's her body. It is what it is. Her and that man ain't even together no more. Meanwhile, Drew's still outside. Hello? Is anybody in there? Faye? Phaedra! They finally let her dumb ass in. She come in and they do the little show, and afterwards, it was really good, by the way. Shamia sits next to Brit and was like, girl, why didn't you reach out to Kelli? Like, you knew what was going on for, you know, with her, and she was there for you. Like, why didn't you call and reach out to her and see how she was? And Brit was like, I can't support someone who's hating on me. You know, basically this glam squad or whatever told her the things that Kelli allegedly had been saying about her. Now, mind you, Kelli admitted earlier in the episode that yes, she did tell her glam squad that she did not want them working with her. She felt like that was weird. Like, are you trying to beat me? It wasn't like she was just saying, let me work with your stylist. She was trying to work with the stylist, the makeup artist, the photographer, the beautician, everything. Like, that is a bit excessive, especially because they had only been friends almost a year. That is kind of pushing it. Although if y'all was real true friends, you would have went to her and asked her, hey, is this okay? How would you feel about this? If you're uncomfortable, I will go elsewhere. But you supposed to be that girl, remember? Why don't you have a glam squad? Once again, Brit tells on herself. She tells on herself, you're not that girl. The funds ain't funding, okay? They're not. You don't have money for the charity. You don't have money for your glam squad. I guess you was able to find somebody to help you with your confessionals. By that time, you probably were working with Kelli's people because y'all filmed the confessionals after the season has wrapped. And I already did a video on how Kelli's glam squad no longer works with her. They're now working with Brit. So if you that girl, like, why you ain't got all this stuff in place already? Like, yeah. Phaedra then gathers all the girls and sits them down and tells them why Portia wasn't there because her cousin passed. And everybody is shocked, especially Shamia, because she knew Londi, of course. And she gets emotional and starts to cry. And I was like, you ain't tell Shamia? How you call and tell Phaedra, but you didn't call and tell Shamia, who's actually been around this girl for years, and you didn't call and tell her? And I know that there had to be a blow to Shamia. Because, like, why am I finding out with everybody else? And this is what I be saying about Portia. It's these big digs that she does to Shamia to show her time and time again, we're not friends like that. I don't really f with you like that. I have you around just to have you around. Like, that is a huge slap in the face. Like, what? Like, she would have been the first person I called, and then I would have called Phaedra and let Phaedra know what was going on and why I couldn't show up. Like, her actions say everything that her mouth, well, sometimes doesn't. And at this point, Shamia, you just gotta face facts. Y'all friendship ain't what you think that it is, my love. I saw over the weekend, she sent Portia a happy birthday message. I guess, you know, because Portia gave her one a few months back when it was her birthday. But at the end of the day, child, y'all just need to leave this alone because y'all are not friends. Y'all simply are not, okay? And for all of you nosy fuckers out there that's trying to ruin my relationship with Charles, mind your business. We locked in. I ain't going nowhere, okay? Angela know about me. She's fine with it. Okay? We are forever. We are crazy in love, drunk in love on top of that, okay? So I don't need no more people running up on this man's wife, trying to snitch when it's already well documented that I'm here, period. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.